From water deep to Icewind Dale, unlikely friends fight tooth and scale. A little faith, a lot of rage, to bring the summer back again. Now roll the dice, see how they fall, don't waste your action. Bonus action. Heroes, tortured and trapped within the mist, hunted by horrors from out the abyss. We've seen friends fall, but must endure, survive to see the sun once more. Now roll the dice, see how they fall, don't waste your action. Heroes.
Whatever you're going to do it now.
I can't. Oh no, I can't. Okay, never mind.
Oh, thanks. At least Steve tried. What can't you do?
Hello.
Thank-
Did Steve just try to ooh?
I think that
Oh,
may
like
have been a
woo-woo?
Steve ooh, yeah.
Do it again. I missed it.
No.
He
You
did
should
like
grateful
if
you missed it.
it was like if Eeyore tried to ooh.
It was. Well, I didn't have an intro planned, but I can't beat that anyway, so I'm not going to try. How's everyone doing? You all right?
Well, I'll read,
I'm-
pal.
Good. I'm talking like we didn't just spend 5 minutes talking
Doing
to
this,
each other
yeah.
before we started it. I know. Ruining the illusion. Hi, Davey. You're always the first in. I hope you're having a good weekend. Yeah, it should be Icewind Dale, but we've swapped round. I'm not going to go into it because it caused a lot of confusion anyway.
Please don't talk about it again.
We're all
So we'll do a
used.
bit. Yeah. So I'll do a little bit of a summary of what occurred last session. So the battle ended with the fiends on the deck of the ship as they were trying to rescue some kobold survivors from a drow-raided raft. And when the battle was over, they realised that one of their own, Eldeth, was dead and beyond saving. No healing, no potions, nothing could bring her back. And unfortunately, the party had no diamonds, so they could not revivify her. So Malice cast Gentle Repose on her body, and the crew and party discussed what they would do. Malice used a sending spell to speak with Stonekeeper Graham back in Gracklestugh and asked if he could help her bring someone back from the dead. She did receive a reply a time later saying if they could get the body to him within a 10-day, maybe she could be saved. So the party had a difficult decision to make, with 3 drow ships spied on the horizon by Sev. Would they return to Gracklestugh, which they had already left in a hurry, and risk further drow attention, or continue on and hope the Myconids could help somehow at Neverlight Grove? A number of heartfelt conversations were had, and a group of people who had struggled to bond suddenly realised that perhaps they already had. The decision to turn around was made, rather angrily, by Tink, but a short time after, they changed their mind and turned once more towards Neverlight Grove. I think the decision was weighing heavily on everyone. And as they sailed on further, they saw icebergs in the Dark Lake, which baffled many of the Underdark crew, who were aware that temperatures down here are relatively stable, and ice was largely unheard of. And eventually they came upon a huge ice sheet and a small cabin on stilts upon it, where they met a strange black-haired, grey-skinned dwarf girl with golden freckles who offered to make a deal for something they wanted in exchange for something she wanted. Plenty of warnings from Tink not to make a deal. Very insistent. But Sev decided that perhaps a deal was worth it in this instance, and traded 2 days for passage through the ice and the return of a memory for Tink. And that was where we left off. So I shall hand over to you.
Did she give us her name? I can't remember. Sorry. She did.
Her name was Isabon.
Isabon.
Yeah.
Cinnabon.
Thank you.
Like Cinnabon, yeah. Isabon. And the deal had been made. Sev had shaken hands. And she began to move a rug at the back of her tiny house, underneath which there is a trapdoor.
What's under it?
You see stairs made of ice descending down into darkness, and she disappears below.
As in, she goes down the stairs. She doesn't just.
She doesn't just go.
She
No.
doesn't gym.
She walks down the stairs using the power of legs.
Daddy looks confused for a moment and then goes outside the hut for a second and looks underneath it to see if he can see, because it's on stilts.
It is. You see the stilts going into the ice, and you look and you can indeed see a hole in the cabin and some steps going down. There's a very small gap, but there is a gap.
Oh, we've paid. We better make sure we get our end. Anyone coming?
Yes, obviously.
I'll
After
head
you.
towards the hatch
You don't.
and begin descending.
Okay. Weirdly, although these steps are made of ice, they are not slippy like outside. They feel like stone. There's no uneasiness at all. You descend down. You find yourself in a weird, clearly carved out of the ice, this weird square room. And she is stepping into the room with one of the little strange white ice creatures with her. And you see these weird swirling blue colours behind these walls made of ice blocks. And sat across on one side, you see this huge 12-foot tall creature, white skin covered in icicles, playing with a doll, probably about the size of Serdi. And it's just sat there. It looks up, sees Isabon, and just carries on playing.
Isabon, who's your friend?
Oh, he don't mind Bumble Buns. He's fine. He just looks after the place and makes sure the walls stay up.
Okay.
Come on down. You passed the point of no return. Final threshold.
I'm in.
Question. Does the doll look like it's actually a doll, or does it look like it was once alive?
Give me a perception check.
I wasn't ready for this. I should have thought this through. Sorry.
See the message in chat. I understood that reference.
Oh, I cannot see. I'm too distracted by the shiny lights. Also, do we recognise the shiny lights as the ones that we saw when we were previously escaping?
They don't look familiar. You can't really see what is behind these walls, but you see some sort of frame on the outside, and this blue light is shining through. And it is, unfortunately, it's backlighting this creature, so it's quite hard to make out what they are. They are behind this wall of ice, but they are pretty much providing the only light in here.
So, what is this place? And please don't just say your basement.
Oh, well, this is where we keep the portals, and with all that's going on, we've got to keep them closed. So I've been sent here to realised I've gone southwest. It's really hard not to go Hobbit, isn't it? Oh, well. I'm making an exception for you on behalf of your friend.
What are we to pass through here?
Aye. Briefly.
What?
And then back again. And then I'll let you through.
Pass through, we come back, and then we're allowed through?
Through the ice.
Oh,
Aye.
okay.
Your friend has traded a day for... I'll part the ice and send you on your way.
I thought this was a trade for a memory, not a excursion.
Oh, well, 2 days. He did trade 2 days, so...
What are these puddles to, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, well, that one goes back to the Feydark, and that one... Well, that goes wherever I want it to. She points to the one on the left.
Where are you sending us?
I don't know. I just need a taste, if you will. And she gestures for you to come forward.
Could rephrase that. I'll flutter over.
Oi, okay. And you see her take, she's got a pocket on her armour, almost like a little pouch, and she takes out a needle that's probably about that long.
Oh no, I preferred when you said taste. It's as big as my face.
Oh, well, it's just a little...
Do it.
Over there. And she gestures to the left-hand portal. And then she... Come on. And you see the great big creature sort of grumbling, climbs to its feet, waddles over and starts removing these ice blocks. They're huge, great big ice blocks. And starts removing them one by one. And Isabon is holding the needle and she just wanders over to the portal. Which bit of you's real? And which bit of you's machine? I need the real bit.
This
And as you gesture to the arm, you almost don't see her move. You just feel this burning, piercing sensation. And then she's holding the needle and she runs it across her tongue and spits into the portal. You see the colour change from blue to purple to pink and then back to blue.
Hepatitis, anyone? Come on, there's got to be a better way of doing that.
Not hygienic. What was that?
Do you want me to go first?
Oh, are you coming with
Are you
us?
scared? Oh, I best. I don't think the deal will stand without me here.
Yeah,
I've been
let's
called
go.
scared.
Let's get this
I go
done.
through.
Okay. You go through. So, you feel your stomach sort of drop as if you've just dropped off a cliff. It is, for Tink who can fly, it is that feeling of stopping your wings and just dropping. You feel your stomachs come up into your throats almost. There's that queasy feeling for a moment and then a sort of exhilarating feeling. And you see this light stretch out in front of you and then suddenly your stomach drops again and you feel a little bit queasy and you find yourself stood. Sorry, I'm just going to pop you on.
Ooh, pretty.
You find yourself stood in this weird... It's still like the Underdark, but there is this huge glowing doorway behind you with these beautiful symbols and swirling patterns that are sort of alive and moving. All these different colours. The air is just full of these motes of energy and light. And as you look up and take it in, you see these two huge giants, even bigger than the creature you saw in the previous room. They are ugly and twisted, like one eye is bigger than the other and yellow, and the other is small and white. They're muscular and kind of distorted looking and really strange. And you see that they're trying to sort of knock something out of the air, this weird pink pulsating light. They don't seem to have noticed you. Oh, you think that's yours?
The giant things, the giant light, or the weird snails?
Oh, you don't go near the snails. They'll burn your retinas out. Yeah. Aye. Right, lads. And you see these two giants turn and see you, and they both instinctively sort of lift their clubs up in two hands. Does anyone want to do anything?
Just hold my shield up.
And she can just take this, right?
Aye. And they start stepping forward.
Go for it.
They seem to recognise her. They almost look a little confused.
These lads, they're not going to do anything silly, are they?
I don't think so. These people have made a deal. I've signed it on behalf of the three. Witnessed by the Queen of Air and Darkness, you shall let them have their prize. And if you don't, well, you know what happens to you. And you see them kind of bow and back away.
Well, I'd go get it, Tink, before anybody changes their mind or adjusts any deals.
Thank you. Elf.
It is probably 20 foot up in the air. Just, it's this beautiful light. It's just rotating and pulsating like a beacon.
I will reach out with my hand for the light.
Okay. For those watching, as you see her reach out and touch the light, you see Tink just go limp in the air, her wings stop, and she just drops and plummets to the ground. Meanwhile, Tink, as you touch the light, you feel this incredible warmth just rush through you, this sensation of knowing that you've never had before, where there was a lack of who you were. Now there's this real strong sense. It's incomplete and it's broken, but it's there. You find yourself stood in a city, stone buildings that seem really familiar. And you realise it's Gracklstugh, or something very like Gracklstugh, but it's different. There is colours everywhere, banners, glitter, flags. They're just absolutely bombarded with colour that you never saw in Gracklstugh. Everything was grey and purposeful and lacking in any artistic flair. It is a cavernous space that you're in. It is absolutely huge, and it's adorned with these bioluminescent crystals, and delicate fairy fire seems to dance over everything. And you see a cheery red-haired dwarf, a cleric, you would guess, by her dress. And she sort of smooths her beard, very silken beard, and seems to have this big grin on her face. And she's like, I declare Victor Gabor and his beloved partner, Alara Wollstonecraft, wed in the view of Sharindler and the summer court. May their union endure all hardships and no few. You see a number of dwarves and also fae. The fae are sort of wearing these weird, iridescent, intricate gowns that almost seem to glimmer like the moon. There is this weird music which seems to come from everywhere and nowhere, and it's just alluring and beautiful. And you see people starting to dance. And then you find yourself stood. What would you like to do?
So, can I see Victor and his bride?
You can.
What does the bride look like?
So Victor looks similar to what you saw before, but he has no augmentations. He is a duergar. Silver hair, white eyes, grey skin. He's very well dressed. His clothes are colourful. He has no bionic hand. He has no artificial eyes. He is, for all intents and purposes, whole. His wife is a red-haired, pale-skinned shield dwarf. And she is wearing ceremonial armour, which is very intricately and beautifully made, covered in dwarven runes.
Do I recognise her?
Just something familiar about her, yeah. And it's then when you realise, as you're looking at them going, who is this? That you realise you're taller than them.
Can I look down? Am I a fairy?
You look down, you're standing on the ground. You are maybe 5'6", 5'7", maybe a bit taller. It's hard to judge because you're used to being so short. You're wearing this very elegant, intricate robe which seems to just move of its own accord. And in your hand, you see you're holding a locket with feathers on it. And you're kind of feeling like you're naturally holding it towards Victor. You're not sure why.
I'll reach back. Do I have wings?
No.
And does the dwarf look like... I've forgotten my mother's name.
No, it's
Okay,
not
so
it's not the mother.
Um,
Same surname though.
yeah, it is.
What was the name, if you don't mind?
Wollstonecraft.
Allura. Well,
Alara, yeah.
Lara.
Victor sees you.
I was going to go over to Victor as the only person that I recognise.
Yeah. My friend, I'm so glad you witnessed that. It was such a happy day, do you think?
Such a happy day. I need to talk to you urgently somewhere less public.
Of course, O'Fane, anything for you, please. And he takes you off to the little side room. His wife comes with them, and they see the thing in your hand. Is that for us? Is that a gift, or?
Here's the thing. I don't know. This is going to sound really weird. This isn't me. Well, it is, apparently. Are we in the Feydark?
Yes, it was your idea.
Right. And... what
We
day
met
is
because of
this?
you. What do you mean?
What day is it? Not just the day, the year.
It's 1498. Why?
Okay.
Sorry, 88. Sorry. It's a year ago.
Basically, I don't remember anything, so if you can tell me as much as possible about me right now, that would be great.
You're so funny.
No,
You Faye and your weird ways.
No, not a lie. Something weird has happened. I don't know if you've seen Back to the Future, but anyway.
I haven't seen that, no. It's alright, I think I've messed up the year. Hang on, let me just check.
It's a year ago is the main thing.
What? No, it's not a year ago. I'm getting confused.
Just indulge.
1489. It's 1489 now. It is 1482.
1482. Just indulge
7
me.
years ago.
How did we meet, Victor?
Gosh.
How did we meet, Alara? How did you two meet? Who am I?
You're so funny. I love your jokes. I didn't get them at first, but they're brilliant. Is this for us? What is it?
No, Victor.
We got to go out for our dance soon, so come on, we don't have time for this.
Fine, I'll just look at it. You said it's a locket. Can I open it up?
Yeah, as you look at it, you instantly know what it is. It's like it hits you as soon as you look at it. The memory comes back, hits you hard. You know that this is the feathers are from a rare fey creature, and that the locket is effectively a way of preserving a memory, a snapshot of time with all of the emotions felt of all those present attached to it. It's effectively a cherished moment held in time. Is that what I think it is?
Yeah. Is there a way of accessing what it is, seeing what memory is in there? Although I assume it might be today. What just happened?
Yeah, you know to just wear it, put it over your head if you want to.
Yeah, I am gonna give this to you. Just wait a minute.
You're very strange, you Faye, but that's what I like about you.
Yeah, I'll put the locket on. I want to see what it is.
Okay, as you put on the locket, you sort of go back to the start of the day, and you're in. It's from your perspective, a lot of it, but you know that this locket will show the perspective of the person wherever they were at the time. But most importantly, you see Alara getting ready, putting her armor on, and her attendants are with her, and you feel her excitement and her love, and you feel your own sort of curiosity and also love for Victor and Alara to see them so happy. You know how fleeting mortal lives are, and that they found this happiness really just fills you with joy. And then you're through the day and you find yourself at the ceremony, at the start of the ceremony, and you see them getting married. You see people wishing them well. It is a memory of the day. And more importantly, it's a memory of the emotions, and you feel all of them, all the positive ones. There doesn't seem to be any negative ones in here. And you find yourself just filled with this joy. It's unnatural joy, but joy nonetheless.
I will wipe away a couple of tears and take the locket off and give it to Alora. I must really like you.
I really like you too. And he puts it on, and you see, you just see he just starts to cry instantly. I didn't think this was possible. I can relive my wedding day whenever I want. This is truly the most beautiful gift I could have ever asked for. So glad we could share this day here and not in Grakostug. Thank you, Tink. Or Fane. I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to call you that. It's just the little joke name we have, right? I know you're someone important and you did all this for us. The dancing is starting. Will you join us?
In a minute.
You okay?
There's a lot of emotions in there. I don't know how you did all this without crying.
Well, I don't know how you've got them all in there, but you noticed he has taken it off and he's put it on the neck of his bride, and you can see she's now like full on crying, but with this stupid smile on her face. And they sort of start to head back into the hall, and you can see dwarves and fae and assorted creatures beginning to dance. And as they dance, you just see amongst them a young dwarf with a pink ribbon in her hair, and she gives you the biggest grin. She looks so happy. You see her grab this blushing male dwarf with a short beard and dark hair, and the face is really familiar. And then you realise it's the face of the dead dwarf you found in Victor's morgue. It's the girl that you were told you were when you first awoke.
Yeah.
And as the dancing fills your vision, you feel yourself falling.
No. I'm trying to flutter my way towards Winnie.
Yeah,
But I'm not, because I don't
try,
have
you
wings.
reach. You don't have wings, but as you come to back in the cavern, you do have wings again, and you begin to hover, and the others see you just start to fly just before you hit the ground.
You okay, Tink?
I want to go back. How do I get back? Oh, is the light still there?
It's gone.
I'll like fly up, look around, look at Isabon. I want to see it again.
Hi. It's in there now. You already have it.
But they knew they recognized me. So there were maybe someone will answer my questions if I can just do it again.
I didn't see what you saw, love. I'm sorry. I don't know what you saw. But that's a piece of you. You should thank your friend. I think you might have had a bit more trouble getting it back from these fellas. Shall we go back?
Oh, yeah,
These
this
things
is
aren't... Okay.
Thank you.
And Isabon will step back through this beautiful glowing gateway, and she just gone.
You should move before they change their mind into the large creatures.
Aye, well, when do you want to be travelling then? Straight away, or would you like to stay a while?
Have you seen anything of a drow round here? It might just influence our decision.
Not yet, no.
When we pass through the ice, will you seal it up after us?
Oh, it'll steal after a while, yeah. Or do you want it sealed proper? You want to make another deal? So that I don't make a deal with whoever follows you.
No, you can make a deal with them.
Aye, fine. I probably will. Bumblebuns? Wall. You see the huge creature start lifting these ice blocks and blocking off the portal again.
What, purely out of curiosity, what would happen if any one of the other of us were to go through the portal? Well, I suppose it didn't really make a difference. It would take us to the same place.
No, it'd tear you apart.
Oh. Yes, I would rather not go through that again.
You have to open it first. That one, she points at the one on the right, that one you could go through. But Bumblebuns here would rip your arms off if you tried.
I'm quite alright.
So get going. There's some urgency.
Wait, what about me? Could I go through? If it's where I'm from.
Oh, you could. Why don't you? Try it.
I'll look to the others. Can I come back?
I mean, you're not from the gloaming, are you? I think that's clear. But if you want to go, you can.
The gloaming?
Aye.
What is the gloaming?
If you don't know, you're not supposed to know.
Would I know?
I think you would now. It is a part of the Feywild, a part of the Winter Court. It is cold, all the aspects of winter. It doesn't feel like it's where you're from after what you just saw. But it is part of the Feywild, of the Feydark.
Think. Remember Eldest? We're on a schedule.
You wanted to go home. I could go home.
Is this your home or is it just a memory? Where I'm from is not my home. If you want to know more about yourself, if there's more ways of finding you, then we can do that. If that is what you want.
So happy. I want to be that happy.
Malice, as you're talking to Tink, you notice on her clothes, and you've seen it so many times before, never really thought about it, this tiny clockwork butterfly brooch that she's had. But for the first time ever, you notice it the wings are actually slowly moving, just ever so slightly. Almost looks like a real butterfly, but it's not. It's made of brass and copper.
Does it look separate to her? Is it something that is adorning her, or is it actually part of her?
It looks like jewellery.
Think.
What?
When you came into being, did you have everything that you have now, or have you collected things over time?
Do I remember? Was this?
You had that from the start, yeah.
I've always had this.
Has it ever done that before?
No.
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 Almost as if it's finding life. Does it feel different to you?
It doesn't feel anything. It's just approach.
I'm not so sure about that. You've unlocked something. Something about you has changed, and either this is gaining power from the fairy realm, or it is gaining power from you. Brooches don't just start moving by themselves. There has to be something that makes it run. It could be maybe your spark has gotten brighter, or maybe it gets its spark from somewhere else.
Victor said the other pieces were here. And a ship needs a captain. Sorry, yeah, we have anything else we need to do here?
I am very curious about that crown, but it is probably advisable to leave it be, unless there is something in particular you would like.
I can see you're proper interested in this mind power.
It's been a particular subject of interest and study.
Aye, well, what have you got to offer? What's precious to you?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what would suffice. That's part of my problem.
I mean, your friend there, 2 days. That's generous.
I'll give you a day for the crown.
Aye, would you? How about a little from the end of your last day?
So you would take over my final moments.
Aye, I just want a little of your breath. Your last one.
Can I-
Alice looks visibly unsettled.
Yeah,
And she's
I think
play with breath.
I think even Droiden would be a bit like that. That feels a bit fucked. Are there any checks I could try and make to determine why she might want the last breath, or if there's any like potential religious significance?
Well, how do you want, do you want to roll religion, or are you thinking arcana, or?
I'm more inclined to think religion.
Okay, yeah, give me a check.
Well, no, I've got no fucking clue.
you really don't know a lot about Fae. But you think maybe they get some sort of sadistic pleasure out of experiencing your last moments when a mortal dies. That's probably what she wants. But that's just a guess. You've got no evidence or books or anything that you've read that support that. It's just you can't understand why else they would want it. You know that Fae are immortal beings in a sense, so maybe they just want to know what death feels like.
So you just for the sake of that, you would probably see Jojen get a coin and just flip it again. Bam. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to decline. As interesting as it is.
Aye, well, you know me now. You can find me if you need. If you change your mind. I'd be happy. Unless the drow buy it, of course.
Well, that would be easier. I could just kill them and take it. Or steal it.
Aye. Well, fine. If you don't want it, that's fine. Would you like tea before we go?
I'm quite fine, thank you. Also, I've already forgotten. Might I have your name?
Isabon?
Isabon? Hello. Now I'm going to be slightly tricksy here, Isabon. I will trade
Good for
you.
you.
I will trade you back your name for the crown.
Are you thinking I'm a Fae?
Well, you've tried to take us to the Faydar.
Aye, well, you need the rest of it, don't you?
But it's something.
I'm not a Fae, I'm just beholden to Fae.
That's true.
These here deals I've made on behalf of the three, and you'll see she will take out a little book, look at Sevatar, just sort of stare at you for a minute, and then stare at the book, and then closes it. She doesn't write anything, puts it back in her pocket.
Strange, but it was worth a try.
Aye, that might work with one of them, but they might not give you the name. Like you don't think this one's name's Tink, do you?
And their name is whatever they want it to be.
Aye.
You don't. I don't think I've ever told you my name, so I could tell you anything.
Tea?
We're on
Pardon?
schedule.
Yes. Goodbye.
Okay. Right, you are then. You see the huge creature is nearly finished stacking the ice wall back in front of the... And as you move away from him, you just suddenly feel this aura of cold come out of it, this creature, and you see the blocks all freeze together and ice starts to form, sealing the portal within the ice. And Isabon heads upstairs. Is anyone staying downstairs?
Is there anything interesting over on that table?
Yeah, you can go have a look if you like.
However meaningful, wistful look at the Feydark portal and then flutter upstairs.
So as you go over, you see this troll's doll.
Okay.
It is a goblin that is frozen solid.
Okay.
I mean, it looks at peace. It doesn't look like it saw it come in. It's almost like it was fast frozen and just like... It's got a slightly cheeky, wonky grin.
Does it look like Aerosol Snitch by any chance?
No.
I'll just blink and capture that image and return upstairs.
Okay. You see these little creatures still cleaning and chopping food, and one of them is boiling a kettle now. Isabon sits back down at the table. Oh, it's been a right pleasure. It has. Really has. I look forward to my day. Sevatar.
I hope you find it worthwhile.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
And,
if you light a torch at the front of your ship, I'll make way for you.
it's a
Or
pleasure doing business with you.
and with you. Thanks to you, I'm a little closer.
Closer to what?
101 deals.
What happens at 101?
I get what's owed to me.
From the 3.
Aye.
Do I know who the 3 are?
No.
Then I will ask, and who are they?
Well, they're the power behind this. They're... I can't say their real names. I don't know them. But they're here somewhere. I'm beholden to them until I have made 101 deals on their behalf.
Are they Fae?
Aye. There's cold and there's dark, and then there's the other.
How do you become beholden to cold, dark, and the other?
You make a deal to get what you want.
What you do? What a stupid question. Here's another stupid question. Is your ice sheet always here, or does it somehow manage to find us when we are looking for it?
It should stay here until the portals are closed. It'll be gone then, but until then, I'll be here.
Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right. If we're done, she gestures to the door, and you just see it swing open.
Let's go. We need to put some distance between us and the drow.
Good luck. I hope you find the rest, if that's what serves you. But judging by your reaction, I don't think it does. Maybe things get forgotten for a reason.
Let us worry about that.
I will.
Ooh, aren't you
Safe
mystical and
travels.
wise? For God's sake, let's get out of it.
I'm bound by these stupid rules. I'd rather be free.
And it sounds like you got yourself in your own mess.
Aye. Bye.
To the ship.
And as she waves, the door just shuts on its own. Okay, you head back to the ship. The toad is still sat there, emanating this incredibly cold aura. You cautiously make your way back to the ship. Get back on board. What would you like to do?
First thing we'll do is light the torch to the front of the ship, as instructed.
Okay. As you light the torch, you literally see the ice start to melt extremely quickly in front of the ship. Not all the way in, but enough for you to start sailing.
I'll instruct whoever is at the helm, who I assume is Hemeth, to
It's Hemeth, yeah.
go ahead. The ice will close behind us. Trust me.
Very well, Captain. You heard her. Get on with it. You see the goblins pull the sails taut. A gust of wind seems to come out of nowhere. And indeed, as you start to sail into this gap, it just opens up in front of you. And as you begin to move through, you look behind, you see the ice freezing instantly behind you as well.
It's fortuitous. Although I hope that Seb doesn't pay too costly for it.
He will.
How do you feel, Tink? I have to apologise. I never asked you if you wanted that, so I'm sorry.
I wanted it. I don't know that I wanted it at your expense. Why did you do that, Seb?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know that you're important, and I know that making you whole once more is important.
When you say making me whole, what is your idea of whole?
When you know who you are, and when you know who you are, you will know what you need to do. And then you can tell us. We'll help.
Why are you helping? You must have some idea, unless you've lost your memory as well.
My whole life is following instructions. And I do it without question. That's my duty.
Whose instructions?
My queen, the Raven Queen, of course.
She wants you to help me.
Yes. It's not selfless as you might imagine. The Shadowfell is everything you imagine it would be, the stories you heard. And we've seen the beginning of what's happening here in the material realm. There's a darkness coming. To what extent and the details, I'm still not sure. I just know that you're important.
So the people keep telling me.
I don't know why. I'm not even sure the Queen knows why. If she does, she doesn't tell me. I just follow instruction.
You think your queen can save you from that, whatever one day means? She could mean tomorrow.
Maybe. I'm not
That
sure
could
she
be
would, though.
the end. You could construe it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a tomorrow, you don't have any days beyond that.
It's a memory of a day. Not the day itself. Most of my life has been collecting unpleasant memories To lose one is no real loss for me. To lose two is actually a gift.
And to find mine appeases your queen for reasons we're not privy to. Except that being whole is important for some reason.
The end goal is selfishly to preserve the Shadow Realm. It's a dark reflection of this realm, and which in turn is a muted, more dull version of the Fey realm, your realm. If this realm is destroyed, taken over, sunken to new depths, then imagine what the Shadowfell looks like then. They're all linked. Just look at them through different lenses.
You know, it almost sounds like you're saying you're here traveling with us with the intention of saving the world.
Well, I wouldn't be quite so dramatic, but you must admit that what we're beginning to see here is unprecedented, right?
Obviously, none of this is normal, but we just keep bumping into things whilst we're all trying to find a way home. You're telling me it's not coincidence?
I don't think so.
Then what do we do? Is the mission still the same? Is it to get Stool home, or is it to go find the nearest monstrosity and kill it? In the name of your god, or...
That would be nice. I'm not sure we are capable, but yes,
No.
that's what I would like. And if we're not capable, then we should. That's the quest. Is to find somebody who is, or a group of people who are, a city, or unite cities, or find a weapon, or some magical artifact, whatever it may be. But this needs to be repelled, fixed.
Can you hear yourself? No one on this ship has asked for this. These people are just trying to get home, and if these things are going to keep appearing, then everyone here that doesn't want to be a part of your grand plan to save the world is in danger.
I don't think anybody can hide from this. If we are lucky and clever and smart, and we can evade and outmaneuver and dodge these things, sure, we buy ourselves some time. But they won't stop at Slubladoop or Gracklestuck. They will keep coming and keep coming, and then people's homes that you say we want to get everyone back to, what becomes of their homes? Do we gain them a month with their loved ones? Is that worth it? If that's what we decide, that's fine, but I would give it some thought.
So I just think Seb isn't the only one here for that purpose. Came here of their own accord for much the same reason.
Yes, but that was under the pretense that we would just bump into these things, or we were a sort of passage for you to find these things, not that we were going to actively. This is a lot, and we need to think about it.
I think that so Malice has been stood with you all this happening, but she stood so still. I think everyone's forgotten she's there. I wanted to
Just
like,
eating.
yeah, she's like, I want her.
Eating some.
I want there to
nuts.
just be that creepy girl moment of people like, Saboteur, may I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
Is Tink important to your queen, or is it Tink's death that is important to your queen?
Good question.
As I understand it, it's Tink's soul that's important, and her memories. She's
So
known.
who she was.
Yeah.
Who she is no longer.
I don't know if that's true until we find out who she was. We can't for sure say who she is now is the same or different.
I'm not the same person I was 3 days ago.
Honestly, who is?
Okay. Above table. Like, I'm pretty sure that with the whole death thing, I'm aware of the idea of the Matron of Ravens. But do I know, like, that much about her, or is it just, like, a general awareness? Trying not to meta too much.
You can roll a religion check for me.
I know a bit, but nothing useful.
What did you get?
10.
10. Okay. You would know. What would you know? She's obsessed with collecting. She likes to collect mementos and memories and the essences of things. But they never really covered it for very long when you were at school studying to become a cleric, so you're not really sure what that means, but
The kind of thing at some point I would have read a bit ahead of the book just so I could read that chapter, but
yeah, the only reference you can think of about who might know what her true intentions were was a reference to Laviata, the Lady of Pain. And that is another god. So it's believed that that god is the only one who knows what the Raven Queen is really doing. I think, Sev, you would perhaps see that the Raven Queen collects memories so that those that go through hardship or particularly grueling things will never be forgotten, because she will keep those memories.
Yeah.
And she's known to have a link to death as well, but it's not a primary goal.
Having said that, it's probably what most people who know of her would associate it with.
Yeah, she's
Incorrectly.
associated with with loss and tragedy with most members of the public. She's like the Lady of Loss.
So so Malice knows like she's to do with loss and tragedy and that. Has this idea about collecting.
Yeah.
Would I feel that it's more about memorialization? Or is it
you could take it that way.
Okay.
She's like
I'm trying to.
she's like us with our D&D books.
Have you met you lot? You're like,
You go and visit her.
Look, here is my book.
Yeah, I'm sure if you went to visit her, she'd be like, look at all my stuff that I collected. Let's go take
I
it.
mean, you've definitely given me some of your D&D books, so this just doesn't fit what we're trying to...
Okay. Oh, she's not going to give the memories away.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out intent. So it's not preserving the memories for the good of the family and stuff. It's kind of selfish.
The reality is no one knows.
No one knows.
Even Sev doesn't know.
Okay.
Even the people that follow her don't really know.
But Sev would probably say, only in the interests of getting you on board, because Sev wants everyone's help to achieve this. Is that yes, it probably is selfish motivation. It's for the protection of Shadowfell, as it is now, as we know it, and preservation of that. To do that means preserving this realm. This is where Sev is out of the picture. He doesn't know why, but he knows it's linked to Tink's memories.
You put a lot of trust in a god that doesn't give you any answers.
I think most gods are the same, right?
I wouldn't know. Malice?
Don't want to speak ill of gods. I'm aware of what they can do, but
Well, apparently they can't save this realm.
is it that they can't save it or that they don't want to?
Point.
Why put effort in for something that will just be reborn anew? Or different? Is it that the realm dies, or is it just that those who remember it die? My god has died. Yet she's still here.
Who is your god, Malice?
I don't rightly know.
Well, that's not an unusual sentiment at all.
There's a common theme running around this ship.
I know who my god is.
Oh, good. I didn't even know you had a god. Who's your god?
I've been a lifelong follower of Anastaria.
And who is that?
She is the Dark Maiden or the Moon Dancer. She is a daughter of Lolth.
Life and soul of the Drow party.
Yes, effectively.
Sorry.
That would explain
sorry.
your incarceration then.
Yes, she is representative of a more positive future for Drow that don't involve backstabbing and slavery. And
I was going to say, it's a little bit funny because you don't quite strike me as the life and soul of the party, Droden, if I'm perfectly honest, but I guess compared to other Drow...
I mean, he's distinctly unlolth-like, isn't he?
I'm incredibly Unloth-like.
Yes.
So,
Malice, how are you a cleric without a god?
I have a god. Now I've got to remember how to say it. Kiaransali.
Bless you.
She wasn't my god when we first met. I'm not sure if she is a deity that I follow.
When did you first meet?
Tinder.
Fun.
Sorry.
It's probably called prayer, but with the E missing.
This,
There are a lot of heavy emotions. Let me get the.
Sorry.
I also have to
Move on.
ask: would any of us recognise the name of this deity that Melis has mentioned?
She's not very well known.
Roll religion.
I'll give that a go.
Da, 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 da.
Roll it, GM. Roll it to me so no one can
Oh.
see.
Well, I had already rolled it by then, and I rolled a pop.
Okay, that's fine. If anyone else wants to roll it, okay. Jim,
Hello.
you would know with a 9. You would know that she is a goddess of vengeance and undeath. She is no. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to look it up.
Can you put a name in the chat for my notes, please?
Yeah.
I can. I shall spell it for. Well, I'm not going to spell it out loud.
Just mash your
Even
face
for those
into the
that are
keyboard
just
and that'll do
listening.
it.
I'm just there you go. I'll mash my face. There it is. Kiran Sali. She is. She's known. You would know her as the Lady of the Dead. Jim. Sev with a 19. You know that she's a drow goddess, and that she was killed. But she has, as far as you're aware, she was dead. Like dead had been destroyed. You would know that she is twistedly cunning. She is known as the vengeful banshee in the Shadowfell. But yeah, she is basically so driven with anger that she has come back from the dead multiple times.
Respect.
She's the coolest of the offerings.
Hence the
And you would
undead link.
remember, yeah, you would remember a saying actually that you have heard in the many years wandering, collecting memories, that some of her followers say is that the dead are more reliable than the living.
It's true.
And I will send you a bit more info, Steve, and you can do with that what you want.
Sure. So who was your god before Malice? If you said this is
Well,
the
of course.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
It was never questioned. It was always expected.
And what prompted the change of heart?
Do I seem like the kind of drow that just follows the herd?
No. Fair point.
I'm sorry, are you trying to tell us you're a hipster drow?
Does make really
More
good
about the
coffee.
dead than the living. It's this bone grinder I have.
Bit of bone in your coffee, it makes it better. It's
I've got to get
better than butter anyway.
Seriously
Right
into
down to
drow duergar fusion cooking.
She Lolf expects. No, that isn't right. Lolf demands same way that our society does, and when she says "our," she'll look at Rodin. It has never suited me. She'll look down at her clothes, and whilst they seem somewhat medical, like anyone who knows about the drone knows that they are based on like priestess attire. As expected, I was in training. Not who I was, and it's not who I am. So I was given a choice. I made that choice. But very few things last forever. This new god has given me certain abilities and has generally left me alone. There have been moments, but better than being in the priestesshood.
Everything is a transaction. You don't get powers for nothing. What will they expect of you?
Worship, right?
Worship? Death? We've brought enough of that, have we not? I'll find out over time. The price will be paid. It always is. Never trust a god.
It's an unusual thing to hear from a priest.
Hey, never trust a fairy.
I
Like I
don't.
said, the priestesshood is not something that I chose. It's not an option. All I've ever chosen in life was death. You can trust the dead far more than you can trust the living.
Odin
Where
is
do you-
your...
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to ask, Droden, does your god expect anything of us that we don't want to be a nasty surprise?
I'm not on the same level of communique as a lot of other priests are. I pray to Alistair every now and then, but they're not exactly a communicative deity with me. So if they have any intentions for us, I'm kept entirely in the dark about it.
That's in keeping with the theme. Steve, go on.
Malice. Where is it you wish to get to? You're obviously going to be avoiding Lolthdraw. You probably don't plan to go to the surface. What's the target for you? If we get to somewhere safe, are you going to go your own way, or?
Don't know. I had considered maybe if it were acceptable to the Sovereign to maybe stay in Neverlight Grove. It speaks to my research interest.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's nice to be able to have a connection.
For what it's worth, I think most of us here have felt a connection with you while you've been on board and with us. Don't know if you feel the same, but I, for one, am glad you're with us.
Yes, the cleric who knows the dead better than the living and couldn't even save Aldith. They're obviously someone that everyone wants to have around. You can tell that there's some history here for Malice and feeling that people don't want her to be around.
Yeah. I won't push it, and I'll just put a hand on your shoulder softly, and then leave
As
you.
you go to do that, she'll
give you
step
space.
forward, so you just miss.
Right, okay. I'll let it go, and I'll leave you to it.
Well, she definitely gets points. She definitely gets points for style.
Well, Malice was talking about the dead in that way. Smid said he felt quite uncomfortable. He said a quick prayer under his breath to Sylvanus. Try asking for guidance.
More gods!
Sylvanus don't tell me shit neither.
How audible was it? To be fair, we would probably come round to, what about you?
I would say Sev heard it,
Muttered in
definitely,
Draconic.
and Malice heard it as well. Probably Drodin.
Muttered in Draconic. So if any of them.
Nope.
Is there a kobold god? This is...
Tiamat, right?
Well, most of my kin, yes. I left them to it. I'm not normal kobold. I never really fit in, so I left them. I found my own path on the surface. Normally, I spend my time patrolling the woodland and mostly keeping it safe from undead and fiends, if I can. In Sylvanus's name.
Sylvanus?
God of the Wilds. All the wild places.
Sound too worrying. So the theme is a bunch of exiles who worship gods that don't talk to them, off to save the world, or something like that.
One step at a time, Tink. It's just see where we wash it up.
Just gotta have an idea of the bigger picture, know what we're working towards.
Well, probably unlikely allies, but I mean, certainly. I know that Sev and I seem to want the same thing.
Matt, just to quickly inform what I might be about to say.
Mm-hmm.
When we said that I was going to follow
Kiran Sali.
the Bantry lady,
Yeah.
I said I'd do some reading up on her, so I'm just trying to figure out how much I do actually know in game. I do apologise, but I have had a vision that I think could.
You did have a vision.
A particular character. So how much do I know about her involvement with Orcus?
She hates Orcus with like limitless fury.
I know.
Orcus is the worst of the worst, yeah, because they kind of got the same They're like so similar. They just like
Portfolio.
each other, you know.
She took over his. She did take over his portfolio at one point, I believe.
She did.
And I think that's
And
actually what it's
she'd be very annoyed that he'd got out and was here.
So, knowing that, I can see why she would want to be involved in this and why she might pick me.
Yeah. That he's treading on her territory. He needs to stop it.
When I've had the vision of him in battle. It was him I saw in battle.
It was.
We just need a drummer now. Come on. We're getting the band back together.
Oh, Daddy, you might not appreciate my god, but I think there might be certain things that you and her would agree upon. So please, don't speak too harshly on her. I wouldn't want her turning her gaze towards you.
Worry not. It's not for me to comment on whomever you give your allegiance to. I will do my own thing. I expect everyone else will do the same. I just hope that you can forgive the fact that I normally have spent quite a lot of time putting down the dead that have risen. That I'm not already in her eye.
That I prefer. The dead should not affect the living. Or at least the living should not affect the dead.
I have a question for Seth.
Well, hi.
You know about these 3 that Isabon was beholden to. She gave you a rather meaningful look.
That would be for the GM to tell me.
You can roll a history check.
One moment, Tink. I'm just thinking about it.
13. You don't know a lot. You don't know a lot, but they, as far as you are aware, they are 3 winter court hags. You've heard that there's normally hags are female, but you've heard that one of them is male, and they are responsible for most deals
So
that are kind of a bit unbalanced in the winter court. So they like causing misery and upset.
okay. Well, I know that much, Tink. If that's of any use, I don't know who they are specifically.
I'm just slightly concerned that most of the parties interested in us rather negative affiliations. Hags, great. Second question. It seems like you only know as much as you're telling me, but do you recognize this person? And I'm going to minor illusion the person I was in my memory.
Again, that's one
Which
for
person?
Matt.
The person
Oh,
you
with
were.
legs, yeah.
Oh, fair.
Legs, but no wings.
Give me a roll. It's quite high difficulty though.
History.
Hang on, you want to show him who you were?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
What I saw myself as in that memory.
Well, you would see. You pretty much saw everything except your face, right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Damn it. Okay, next time, get a mirror. Yeah.
18. Good roll. Yeah, you can literally see like a female body, quite tall and elegant, in a very incredible gown and her hands. That's all you see. So you can't tell who it is. But you can tell with that roll that the... what's the word? The dress is exceptional even for Fae. It is of a level that would not be seen on anyone other than the most highest ranking Fae.
I don't think I've been given the name of Fane, which you've heard of before, and I was listening very closely to what Isabon had to say. She hinted at royalty. More than that, I can't tell you, I'm afraid.
Lead, which is more than we had before, and I have you to thank for that.
More to come, hopefully.
The ship continues to sail through this crack in the ice, which opens up in front of you and closes behind you.
All that just in us
Nice.
going through the ice.
Yeah, it takes quite a while. It's quite deep. Quite extends quite a distance, probably a mile or two. You can eventually see the edge of this, and beyond it, more of the dark lake. Off to the south, you can see what looks like dozens, maybe 100 or more islands. Directly above those, you can see it looks like a mountain in the middle of the dark lake. And then to the north is open water.
Myth, do you need anything from us, or are we on track now to sail for those tunnels?
I think we will be there we made very good time. I don't know whether Drodin did some magic or something, because the wind just came up and we flew through.
He's not that good.
I
It
think
was probably the lady we met back on the ice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely wasn't
Yeah.
Rodin. Hereth, what's that mountain?
That's the tunnel.
Oh, okay.
The tunnel is through that mountain. I think long ago, before this was a lake, the great worms burrowed through that mountain. So if you wish to go through the tunnel still, it is that way.
Mm-hmm. No more umming and ahhing. That's the way we're going.
Very good. I think we'll have no problem losing the drow with that ice sheet unless they make a deal. So
They probably will, but they'll probably be stupid enough to make a bad one.
That's what I was hoping.
I wonder what it would cost them to have us ensnared. Just asking the question.
You know, that's reminded me, you seem to know something of Faye Drodin attempting to bargain her name back to her. Could we avoid using a Thane? I doubt that's the whole of my name, but it's still dangerous.
It's all just a part of a rather delightful story I heard a long time ago at a bar, and I was kind of banking on it working in reverse.
From what I've heard about Faye, I'd be surprised that they would give you their name, knowing that so much is linked to their name.
Yes, I think that was
Accidentally.
that was an oversight on my part more than anything.
It looked very silly.
It was worth a try.
I have a question for Serdi.
Listening.
What did we learn from the kobolds? Did we find out the number of the drow, any of their names, what they looked like? Or did you not ask any of those questions?
They were looking for us. Taking us to this portal.
Ugh.
The kobolds were paid to do that. That's all he really knew.
That was the drow that were looking for us.
I would imagine so.
Can I recall? We did see some drow looking for us in Gracklestug, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I recall what they looked like?
The drow that you saw.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a female scout. Was the one that you saw a few times. Clearly not a very good scout, to be honest. White hair, as all drow do. Quite short at the front, like almost like a bob, but you could see that she had long hair at the back, which was tied up into a plait. Leather armor, short weapons, typical drow scout, really.
In short, I'm going to describe whatever I remember to Crud and see if there's any if they recognise the same person.
He's just like, yes. Small boat. Out like this. About 20 drow. Crossbows. And then, you know.
But no big cannons. Is that a thing? Ballista.
They'll be on the larger ships, not the scouting vessels.
It's good news,
Didn't-
isn't it?
No, there will be larger ships, probably not far behind the scouting vessels. And poison-tipped arrows will still kill us.
Can you make antidotes?
If you
Unless
can't,
there's try.
I bet Stool and his friends would be able to give us some pointers in that regard. Do we still have any of those bolts left that was sticking in poor Crud? Maybe they could take a look at it and cook something up for us.
Please say we salvaged a boat, please.
I'll allow it. You did recover some wood. I'll say there's probably a crossbow bolt in one of the pieces of wood. There might even have been one in the kobold.
Thank you, kind, benevolent PM.
Did you say malevolent?
Either one.
I mean, it's accurate.
I don't know if Stool will know what this is. Maybe we should just save it for.
But also just knowing, even if I wasn't like a member of a scout party or involved in combat as a drow, I have some history with poison. Would I know about this? But I know what it is.
I think you and Drodin would both know that drow tend to favour, when they're not using it on elves, they use sleep poison because it allows them to capture people alive. So it could be sleep poison. For elves and other things that are not susceptible to sleep, they do use a more dangerous poison which can knock you unconscious. So it's not sleep, it literally will
Incapacitate.
yeah, it will make you feel so ill that you collapse.
Would I,
And even if it doesn't make you collapse, it will make you feel very sick.
knowing this and having another very smart drow on board and a fairy that seems to know some weird stuff about just existing, whatever it was Victor knew, would we be able to make some kind of antidote or inoculation?
You could try. I mean, generally, yeah, an antidote is something that I think you would know as drow. An antidote, if you take it in the absence of the poison, can sometimes do harm as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get an antidote for these things that you can simply drink and it will counter the effect very quickly.
And do I think it would work if, rather than creating an antidote, if I created maybe a weaker type of the poison and everyone got a tiny little dose every now and then until they built up a resistance?
Yeah, you can try that.
I want to try that. You let me create a creepy girl. I get to be a creepy girl. Leave me.
Yeah. Poison all your friends. Yeah, just as everyone does.
I'm just gonna be a little bit sleepy.
Just a little drowsy.
Malice, this water tastes funny.
Just drink.
Can operate
drink the
heavy
water.
machinery.
Water tastes
You're
strange, but
good.
can I have some more? I need some more.
No, you've had a dose for the day.
You know I'm good for it.
Yeah, you would need access to the right materials, but yeah, you can definitely try that.
Okay.
Either way, making an antidote or just poisoning your friends very slowly for a long time and hoping they get resistant. Look at Veronica and Steve's face.
Right.
Jim's just like, I need a quick
He's
vape.
like, I'm staying out of this. I'm not going to be poisoning my friends. Don't care how drow I am.
Such mixed messaging. Like before the stream, we're all chatting. We're like, Hazel's like, I love you guys. I'm gonna poison all of you in my fantasy world.
I'm going to try and poison you to save you. A little bit of regular poisoning. and
Are you
then
going
we
to
get
tell
shot with
us?
arrows.
Poison us for our own good.
I
This
think
is literally
I
the plot of an Agatha Christie novel. I'd like you to know this.
It is. It is.
But who's
David,
Poirot?
do your friends do this? Who's Poirot? That's very hard to decide, isn't it?
Subtly poison each other.
would tell everyone. I would explain the plan to you. I'll talk to you about like inoculation and vaccines and that kind of thing. Whatever the Underdark equivalent of using cowpox to solve smallpox is,
Drowpox.
like spider pox. That's what we'll go with, spider pox. So I'll explain all of that to you and try and get you on board. So is anyone willing to try?
Roll a persuasion, please.
I'm quite happy to try. It sounds very well thought out. Well, that remains to be seen.
Oh, damn it! Yes.
My funny bone off the desk. I was so excited.
Come a
You get 24.
Right, look, I mean, I get the logic. I like the idea. Let's talk logistics. Now, we're all trying to sail a ship. We might be in danger. What I propose is that before we go to sleep, maybe, and not everybody at once. So if somebody ODs, that we can recovery position, that sort of thing. Come on,
You don't want to fall overboard while you're poisoned, you know?
I would be willing to take the first dose, if it would reassure you all.
Who would give it to us if you're asleep?
Well, we wouldn't all be taking it this, as we are sailing the ship and as we are involved in this expedition, as it seems to be turning out, we will be sleeping in shifts. So maybe swapping out per shift. Start off with very small doses to the point where it should have barely any effect whatsoever. But I am slightly concerned about how it might affect Tink.
Where's Veronica gone? Is she on the floor laughing?
She's
Yeah,
had a
she's
very.
there still.
You've got a stool hanging over you with a huge needle.
Is it safe?
It doesn't have to be injected. I could try aerosolizing it.
We can
Or-
make edibles.
I was about to say, or we can just do like a drop under your tongue, or maybe we can make it into some kind of pastry. Just let
Poison
me become
pastries.
you let me become like a weird little hag. That's all that's.
Can you grow some of your own fungus and do it that way? So we all maybe take a couple of mushrooms each.
I wonder if I could. She has still even though Stool is now able to feed himself, she has still been cultivating the weird little patch of rot and mold on the deck of the ship. So there is a little fungus garden. I do think there does seem to be a new species. It's kind of gooey and orange, but I think that if I were to, at this stage, if I were
going
to
into
introduce the poison, it would.
We're going down the penicillin route here, right?
Yes.
We're onto something.
What's
I'm
penicillin?
not quite sure why you think that having it as mold is better than just injecting it straight into your veins, but I'm willing to try if it makes it more palatable to you. This is probably the most excited you've ever seen. Every time it gets weird, she's just having a moment. Well, I'll try a few different ways, and then you can all pick your preferred method.
I just think that's your bag, and Stool could probably help you.
The bag. There are quite a few things still in the bag. I should empty it out.
I do think that it would be advisable, at least for the first few attempts, for you to not attempt to poison yourself, in case there is an issue.
I don't know. I believe all good scientists do generally work on themselves first before.
Yeah, don't test the death juice on the person that can heal everyone.
Yes.
Well, it will be a very small dose. I'll do the calculations, and then we'll bring this conversation back up again once I have something ready to use.
I'll be in the crow's nest.
I will be in my deck chair.
Make yourself useful in your deck chair. Let's help them sail this ship.
I was reading a Kobold spellbook, but I can help with the ship.
Kobold Monthly.
Well, if the spells help us as a party, that counts, I suppose. I just don't want it to look like we're not putting our weight. Crew morale is important.
That is a good point. I will do it below deck.
We get on with helping with the navigation then. Did you have that compass, Droden?
I gave it to you.
Did you?
Didn't I?
Yes, you gave it him back.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's round your neck and it's massive, and then you suddenly think, how did I not notice I was wearing that?
It's not in my inventory, so I thought I'd give it to you.
I can't give it to you. So,
Flavor Flav.
You look like a kobold rapper, yeah.
I shall. Oh, there it is. Sorry, and start looking at it and head off towards the stern where Hemeth is.
What is this? I think we're going for the tunnel, Serdy, so...
I'm just getting my bearings, Hemeth, that's all. It's supposed to help.
Very
Hoping to start learning.
Very good. We are heading that way, which I think should be kind of... let me just... GM is forgetful and he needs to look at the map. It is kind of northwest maybe for the tunnel, if that's still where I believe we're still going. We'll be there in about an hour, and then hopefully it will be relatively safe passage through. We can get through quick, and yeah, we hopefully we can find the tributary and sail straight into Neverlight Grove, if it exists.
Is there a reason it shouldn't?
I mean, very few people have visited this place, so I simply don't know. The Myconids are different. They don't care about clothes and things and jewelry and houses and all of the things that, gold. They don't care about gold. So they are hard to trade with. They have everything they need. They don't care for anything outside of that.
So they don't have much contact with everyone else, or?
I don't think so, no.
But surely they'll be pleased that we're returning stool.
I don't know. Stool is the first one that I've met.
Likewise. I hope they're not also murderous and suggestible.
Not sure he was that murderous when I first met him. He was quite innocent, really.
Perhaps that's reassuring.
I think so. Yeah, it's very good. I don't suppose you've seen Bradley, have you? He has not turned up for work today.
Bradley?
I would go... I mean, you can take over the rudder if you wish. I'll go and check.
Sure. Just keep us pointing at that hole in the rock.
Yeah, do you want to go and do it? I'll steer. You go. Can you check? I know we are the same rank, but it's maybe I'll teach you properly, because it's not just pointing it at a rock. You have to keep the wind in the sail, so you might not directly be sailing at the place you want to go. It's very hard to explain.
I'm really keen to learn. I've never had a chance to do this before, so okay, I shall go and find this Bradley.
Good, thank you.
Serdy just wanders off and starts asking the nearest goblins who Bradley is and if they know where he is.
They'll just point to the hatch to below deck.
That's where I shall head.
Okay. You head down below deck.
I've got a feeling Bradley was wearing a red shirt.
I would like to quickly interject. Tink, can I have 250 gold pounds? Gold pieces.
Gold pounds.
Gold pieces. I wish I had 250
250 of our finest gold pounds, please.
I wish I had 250 pounds. Could I have 250 gold pieces from the party funds for the sake of spell transcribing? Yeah, I think you're muted.
But the answer was no.
That's an excuse, the muted thing. Oh, my microphone stopped working. You can't have the money.
Yes, you can. What are you learning out of interest?
So the Kobold spellbook only has 5 spells in it. And those 5 spells are Fog Cloud, Levitate, Detect Thoughts,
Ooh.
Gust of Wind, and Kobold's Fury.
I don't know what the last one is, but all of the others are really good.
That is what I thought. Detect Thoughts, I can cast innately from account of being telepathic, somewhat innately. But to be able to channel some arcane skill into doing it more frequently would be quite beneficial, I think.
Very good. Go ahead.
Very well. I will be 10 minutes, and then he will go downstairs.
Okay.
And yes, as an order of the scribes, he will literally be 10 minutes.
Nice. It's a quick writer. It's probably like Spider's writing, but it's
Shorthand.
quick. Yeah.
It just looks like lines.
Yeah.
Or like
You can read it. That's all that matters.
it's almost like Morse code or Braille.
It's probably like my real life handwriting. Serdi, as you descend the ladder, you begin walking through the hold, and you can see all of the hammocks that are laid up for all the different people to sleep in when there's shifts. There are some sort of beds and things for some of the more senior crew, but most of them are hammocks. And as you wander through, you see that one of them does have a weight in it.
Bradley? You'll wander up and shake the lump. Bradley?
I mean, it's definitely occupied, but there is no movement.
Pull back the cover slowly.
You see a goblin face. The eyes are shut, and it's grinning.
I'll shake them. Again, do they feel warm?
No, they are cold.
Well, Valis?
I'll run downstairs. That fucking little brat.
Stall?
What's going on?
Look here. Something's happened to this poor soul. Stall, was this you? I thought you were cooking now.
Why don't you blame him?
Well, I don't know what else. Is there any signs of?
Any number of things. Has he ever stabbed you?
No, but he just seemed to like stabbing, and there's a dead goblin. Is there any stab wounds on the goblin?
Nope, no blood, no wounds that you can find.
Doesn't seem to have done anything. No, never mind. Sorry, Stall. Shouldn't jump to conclusions. Unless you cooked him dinner.
Can I
Poisoned him. I'm not there.
Can I check the goblin and just see if like his stomach is protruding, as if there's food in it that hasn't fully processed?
Give me a medicine check or nature, whatever you prefer.
Don't think I'm going to be good at anything.
I mean, its eyes are shut. It has a weird grin on its face.
A weird grin.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
22?
smiling. 22. Yeah, no, there's no swelling or discoloration or anything that looks out of the ordinary. There's no sign of like vomit or any poison. With a 22, you do notice that it's smiling and the lips are a little bit puckered.
Have you seen anything like this before?
Have I? Don't think so. No. No. Who else is down here?
Perhaps we should have a quick look around, see if anyone else has met the same fate.
We left Arundel on the boat, didn't we?
Devondale is downstairs. There is, well, obviously Drodin has come down now and is busily writing in the office. Stool. There is the Darrow Drocky is sat on one of the beds, just like his feet hanging over the edge, don't reach the floor, just kicking his feet. There is a few goblins milling around. Can't see the two deep gnomes.
Everyone, I need your attention. Has anyone witnessed anything out of the ordinary while we've been gone? And who was the last to see Bradley up and about?
Drocky will be like, well, I did see a mushroom preparing food, which was weird. But other than that, no. Quaggoth that talks, that is also weird.
That is quite strange, yes.
That's about it. Oh, and that pile of boxes was making a terrible racket. Whatever you've got in there, probably you should let out.
No, whatever you do not let us out. I will deal with that tomorrow. I'm unable to deal with it today. Tina? Where's Tina? Is this the right band? I can't remember anymore. Yes.
It was only Bradley because I didn't know any of the other names.
Tina, have you witnessed anyone speaking to Bradley recently?
No, miss.
Okay. Has there been? Have you noticed anything strange about the ship in the last day? Any odd?
I mean, it's all strange, miss. All of it.
Okay.
We've got drow and quaggoths and mushrooms and elves and goblins all working in harmony. Weird.
And I do thank you for your service.
Thank you for my freedom, miss.
Please go back about your day. I don't want to take any more of your time. Zerdy? I believe we should probably inform the captain. And then figure out exactly what to do.
Right,
I might need to check the remains more thoroughly.
I'll leave you to it, then I shall go and find the captain.
I'll be downstairs. Captain will know where. And I will bundle up the goblin and try and take it downstairs.
I head up onto the top
Dear, you
deck,
okay?
looking for Tink.
Yeah, I'm fine. Matt just keeps killing my imaginary friends.
Captain?
G Club 7 is now G Club 6.
Captain, we have an issue.
Don't make a scene. What is it?
Well, I think you should come down below, but Malice is good in hand, at least as much as it can be, and just come and I'll show you.
I'll follow him down.
You go down, you can see Malice with something wrapped in a bundle.
It's
That's
Bradley, Captain.
I'll get everyone down into the morgue. Now we need to come up with a name. but close it. It's soundproof as we're gonna get.
Fuck.
Yes.
Do we know who did it?
No,
How? How?
There don't seem to be any external wounds. No vomiting, so I'm not sure that poison would have been the cause. So magic of some form. But his expression concerns me. And I will unbundle so she can see the grinning kind of pouting face.
Oh.
Eyes closed. Very strange.
Unlikely, but have ever seen anything like that before?
Yeah, I mean, you can give me a history check. See if you've ever seen anything like it before.
What?
13.
No one seems to have seen anything either.
I mean, anyone else that wants to roll a history check can as well. No. 13.
Would this check that trigger anything with favoured enemies?
Would what, sorry?
Would this check, would it trigger anything with favoured enemies? Anything to do with any of my favoured enemies? Fiends or undead or
Maybe. Yeah, Malice, you're not sure as either. Both of you, it kind of like it rings a bell, but you can't think why. It's weird. You don't remember anything, but it's very odd. But yeah, if you want to roll as well.
Feel confident this was probably not natural causes, so we have to assume there is a murderer aboard. Other than the doll.
You can roll with advantage, Serdi, as it's a favoured enemy.
Never mind.
No, it's weird.
It's grotesque. I found him in his bunk, or a bunk. I don't know if it was his bunk, a bunk covered over. I'm not sure whether he would have hidden himself or was hidden, but
Whatever got him probably got him when he was asleep.
it's disturbing. Can you tell how long he's been like that, Malice?
Can I from the 22? Or do I need to roll again?
Yeah, you can probably tell that. Probably 3 or 4 hours.
Been since we left Gracklestug, obviously, because we did give him orders.
Yeah, it's
would have been
probably before the ice.
after the cold I'm not gonna say it, and before the ice. So quite a short window. I know of spells that can cause laughter. But this form of grimacing is not something that I feel that I recognise, though it does seem somewhat familiar.
Serdi, do you know how far away we are from the tunnels?
Do I can go.
Less than an hour, he said.
Okay.
Do you think that it could be related to the madness that we witnessed in Gracklestug? The two-headed giant and the prisoner?
Didn't see anyone die with a great big grin on their face there, though. It'd be a new...
Could it be some sort of disease? Like a plague or something?
Yes. But I'll only be able to tell if it's something I've witnessed before, and I don't think Even if I do find something, I won't know its actual cause until we witness it again, if it happens again.
I am concerned. Still, it may be one of our own.
When I was upstairs, I didn't see was it the were-rats that were missing? Didn't witness the were-rats. Obviously, this doesn't look to be their doing in that particular form, but they weren't there, and that might be suspicious. Maybe they disembarked, or they could just be elsewhere on the ship.
Okay. We need to tell the other goblins. They need to know that their friend has died, but I want to get us to safety first. I want to get us to the tunnels. For this short period of time, before we get to the tunnels, I want everyone to pick a goblin and shadow them.
Can I?
Account for everybody. Someone account for Topsy and Turvy.
I
will
get Hemeth
deal
in on it?
with-
Yes.
He was looking for
course.
Bradley.
Find out if he's noticed anything whilst we were off the ship. Then we will gather everyone and tell them these sad news.
Yes, Captain.
Any other thoughts?
Unfortunately, not currently.
I have no ideas.
Derendil is listening in, and he will. I have to admit, I haven't seen Topsy and Turvy since before the kobolds.
They were definitely on
Were
the
they-
deck when we left Gracklestug, were they not?
They were. I saw them. They were actually on deck, enjoying the view. They've stayed in their room, haven't they, most of the time? Pretty much all the time. So I was surprised to see them on deck. And then, a few minutes later, they were gone. I assumed they just went back downstairs.
I'll go search for them now, and off I go.
I shall go let Hemeth know.
Yeah, you don't find them. They're nowhere to be found.
Can I make my way up to the crow's nest where I believe Sev is, inform Sev
Yeah.
of what has happened and ask him to keep an eye out for Topsy and Turvy and any unusual activity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just to be sure, they're were-rats, so they can also turn into rats as well as the humanoid rat hybrid, right?
Yeah, quite big ones, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll keep an eye out for any unusual activity.
From my understanding of were-rats, can they change at will? Or is it just the full moon? Or is it they can change at will and have control unless it's the full moon where they just beast?
When it's full moon, they have less control.
Okay.
But yeah, you believe they can change at other times, but it's willing at other times. Full moon, it can be against their will.
Okay.
I think between us there's 6 PCs. Well, 4 PCs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 5 PCs plus Serendil plus Stool. And there's only 6 goblins left, so that means we could have 1 shadowing each goblin.
Yeah. If that's what you wish to do. There is the new kobold who is also helping.
Oh, we don't trust you yet either.
But yeah, you can do that.
Matt and his
Yeah, you
fucking
start
murder on
shadowing
the
them.
Orient Express on a fucking boat and shit.
What would the motive be if it was the 2 were-rat guys? Because it looks like this kobold was asleep in bed, so if they were trying to escape or do something nefarious, they just had to be quiet.
seem odd that some creature that you're talking about has attacked him, but there's no signs of him being attacked. It wouldn't fit the sort of thing a creature would do to a goblin, surely.
So, who else on the ship has such an ability? So, it may be poison, though I do think more likely magic. And I believe the spellcasters are mainly Tink, Drodin, and myself, with Sadie having some ability.
I do have a immediate and somewhat pressing question. Have they always been here?
Who?
This one.
Do I recognise whether that is Tina, Paul, Joe, Hannah, Rachel?
Which one are you looking at?
I drew a circle around them.
We're on different decks. Give us a second.
Or John?
Yeah, that one has been around for a while. It's just slightly different art, but yeah. There is slightly more goblins than just the 7. There's a couple of extra ones that seem to have got hired, but none that you don't recognise.
Hermes, when did we hire more goblins?
Did tell Eldith to make sure that the ship was properly staffed before our final expedition.
Yeah, I can't speak about when they arrived, but yeah, Eldith organised them. I think there is 4 of this. They heard that you were setting goblins free, so they sought us out and snuck on board, and Eldith offered them a place. We did need them, Captain. I assure you, we cannot sail this ship with 6 goblins.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Eldith had told you.
I don't remember, but that's fine. There's a lot going on, right?
Yes, I've missed quite a bit. What's going on?
We have 4 unnamed goblins who we hired, Eldith hired.
Did you find Bradley?
I did, sadly. Hemeth, I'm sorry for taking so long, but sadly, Bradley's no longer with us.
What?
He was in his bunk. That's what we're discussing. He seems to have passed somehow in his sleep with the most unusual expression on his face. We're not exactly sure why it happened, but we're a bit worried about the other goblins, so...
What do you mean, unusual
He
expression?
was grinning quite disturbingly.
What would make someone happy to die? That's weird.
Exactly. We have no idea.
Jim has a theory. But
Dro didn't have a theory.
yeah, well, that's what I'm asking about. Would
If you've got a theory, Drodin can have a theory. It's fine.
well, I can't remember, but given the experience we encountered in Gracklestug, I would probably go. Could it be the creature that was brainwashing the king of Gracklestug that charmed Serdi?
I don't remember that happening.
You don't remember becoming incredibly infatuated with it?
No, I'm sure that didn't happen. I don't think that happened.
Okay, but you're not seeing that there is a potential that your vulnerability in
Anyway, moving on to
Sandy.
the goblin.
Can you use
Sorry.
that thing where you can sense, what was it, a fiend, a devil, a whatever it was?
I can try. I'll start sniffing the air.
Okay.
And see if I can smell the presence.
That tells you whether there are Fae, fiends, or undead within 5 miles,
6
right?
miles, yeah.
6 miles. Yes. To all 3.
Well, I feel that wasn't that helpful. There's a lot about.
Not pinpoint who.
It's not that precise. I mean, down here, the stench gets carried so easily. It's sort of. Well, I might still be smelling the creature that escaped the attack yesterday. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm sorry. It's not a precise thing.
It is definitely a possibility then. What do we know about succubuses? So they were pretending to be a member of the king's court. They have to kill them? Were they... What do people know about these creatures?
Did I make some sort of check that?
I mean, you know what happened to you,
yeah.
but yeah, can make a check. Yeah.
That's what it would be.
Probably.
Good.
What would it be? Probably history or religion. For you, I'd let you roll nature.
Thank you.
Oh, unlucky, pal.
It's almost like the one that kissed you just wiped all the information out of your head.
Well,
You try and think about them as a weird block.
I think I should know, but for some reason, it's quite fuzzy. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's what got you in this mess in the first place.
So, one of these goblins may not be like the other. Topsy and Turvy are missing.
How much do we know about Drocky?
But do we know it's not Serdi? No offense, Serdi. I don't know how these things work. Or any of us.
I could always go and ask Irby to creep around the ship and try and spot anything suspect, but I don't think a rather large albino moth is particularly discreet.
Well, what about what I said? We each shadow one of them under the pretense we're learning our job. See if anything sticks out. That's us 5. Your moth, Darendil's stool. That leaves 2 goblins unaccounted for. Hemith can look at one. God help us, Crud. He can make himself useful.
Well, Crud is also an unknown, right?
Yes.
Are you talking specifically about the new guys? That we should.
Concerned they could be anybody, but I know nothing of the new guys.
I just need to make sure no one's alone, really.
Exactly.
Okay, so how are you organising yourself? It sounds like you're making sure that no one is on their own.
I feel that I might have an idea. Thank you, Steve. I had thought of that, but I forgot that I have a thing that can help me with that. And I was like, oh, I don't have the spell slots. I might be able to ask Bradley himself.
I could kiss you, but I don't want to. Yes, please.
That sounds like something a succubus would say.
And I think a succubus would just do the kiss.
Would want to, yeah. Well, not if they're going to get caught.
That is true. But yeah, if I could go downstairs and you speak with Dad, but roleplay something else while I think of the questions.
Roleplay thinking of the questions, that's fine.
Roleplay following around. John.
Who you... John.
I'll take it.
I don't know.
I'll take
I
Hannah.
knew Bradley, that's why he died. Oh yeah, Hannah.
Seems to be sat on that one waiting, hasn't he? He's like, I know one of them, that'll do.
That was another one I knew, but I forgot that I knew it. I think she was probably my favourite, so she'll live longest of all the goblins. Mainly because no, she won't, because she's the only other name I know.
Who was the last one? Oh, Joe.
Joe. Weird goblin names, not gonna lie, but
it's specific to their tribe.
There is a weird atmosphere now on the ship.
Oh.
Everyone's kind of like walking around in pairs or threes. There's just a bit of an edge now. It's like you can feel the distrust rising. Everyone's looking at everyone a bit weird. You realise that Malice has gone off on her own down below, though.
Tina was below, wasn't she? Was she on her? She wasn't on shift.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, and Stool is also down below. As well as Drocky, Devon Dill.
Hey, I think somebody should be with Malice, only because if anybody else on board has heard our plan, that she is going to attempt to speak, then very shortly, potentially, the murderer, who's maybe still on board, will be outed, which puts Malice in a particularly vulnerable position.
for volunteering.
I will follow Malice.
Yeah, you head down and Malice is preparing Bradley. Could we at least spell Bradley in like a goblin way? I don't know how that would be, but... Oh.
Keep it as it is. I don't know what...
Several turn up.
Saboteur. I believe... So we'll ask what it was that killed them, as to whether it was a spell or a poison, who it was that killed them, what happened before they died. Is there anything else do you think we should ask?
I think the line of questioning will depend on the first one or two questions, so we need to be flexible.
Okay. And then Matt, how big is this room, dimensions wise?
It's, I don't know, I mean, it's the lowest deck on the ship, so it's pretty big. It's 30-40 foot across and quite long. Probably 60 foot long.
Okay.
It's big.
So can I move us to the very back of it?
Mm-hmm.
Sam, I'm sure you don't particularly want to be caught in this, so would you want to just step behind me for a moment? And in the area that we're going to be like working, can I cast fairy fire? Just so if anything is invisible and tries to get towards us, it will show up.
Oh, clever.
Good call. Good call. Very clever, yeah. Yeah, you cast it, you see these lights appear swirling and dancing in the air. They don't cling to anything, which is a good sign, hopefully.
I'm putting it down just so it's not hanging around and then we'll just ignore it.
Yeah.
And then I... oh, God.
What did I miss?
It's in the
Oh,
yeah.
I want to name the 4 goblins Will I Am, Taboo, Fergie. Nice work. Yes, we can. I don't know what the last one is.
Apple the app.
Apple Diap. That sounds good.
He's the Filipino member of the Black Eyed Peas. Represent.
Oh. I only know Will I Am, to be fair. I'm Fergie. Okay. Malice.
Let me just try and use up 4 charges of this, just so I don't forget. For some reason, I just wanted to try and help with. So I will use the Stone Speaker Crystal. I'll speak with Dead.
Okay. You see the grin kind of drops from the goblin's face, and the head just kind of like pops up on its own. The eyes are still closed. You hear it taking a breath, but then just hold it.
Hopefully. What was it that killed you?
Malice.
Did not hear that at all, sorry.
Malice.
Okay.
You killed me.
And how did Malice kill you?
Seb draws his sword silently.
You told me I was special, and then you kissed me.
I'll just turn to Seven, just be like, we all know I don't think anyone's special.
That's true. I'll give you that. Sheaths his sword again.
In detail, what happened leading up to the kiss?
We were eating. You said that you had seen me and that I was special, and that we should meet later.
Sorry, even non-Malice
I know it's
doesn't know how to.
Malice can't process. Yeah, like oh.
Okay. Why were you grinning?
I pulled a drow.
He thinks Malice is sexy.
Look at her art. She is kind of sexy.
I'm not okay. It's
When it comes up.
how 1 second. How many questions was that? That was what? That was what happened.
I've lost count as well. Look, she's hot.
So that was what killed you, and he said me. What happened?
She's not goblin hot.
Obviously. Oh God! Imagine if it met Eric.
Soul's goblin hot.
Oh God. So sorry. That was.
You got 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah, you got 2 more, I think.
It doesn't sound like a compliment, but it is. You're goblin hot, sorry.
Hazel is okay with being goblin hot. We know this. I'm very unique taste, but every now and then.
I don't know what else would be useful. So just to use the questions up, I'd ask him how he'd like to be disposed of. But unless you've got anything more useful.
I've already.
Oh, you've already done that. Okay.
Part of the HR interviews.
Sure.
Induction.
Before, who else did I or Malice speak to in that conversation where I said that you were special?
Stall.
Precious baby. No.
Derendil. Tina.
So those are the people that are definitely innocent.
The people that we need to talk to. Tina. Because I swear to God, if she kills Stall, we know that Hazel and Malice are going full nuclear.
Malice. I wonder if this succubus didn't quite have all the details right, and I wonder if Bradley noticed anything unusual about Malice that isn't normal. Maybe some detail of a face or a clothing was different. That might help us identify if we see a Malice in the future.
Well, I can solve that.
Okay. Well, you can, because you'll know your Malice, but everybody else can't.
No, and for anyone watching this at home, this is probably not a good thing, and I apologise profusely for it, but Malice will take out a knife and she'll just cut a little scar down the side of her face. Nothing too violent, but just enough that in the hairline, if you know to look for it, you'll see it. And she'll do this right in front of you right then, so...
Cool.
I'll turn back to Bradley. This will be the final question. After this, she'll go back to sleep. Where did Malice come from when she came to talk to you?
The cage.
Okay.
And you just see the body just go slumps again. The grin's gone.
I'll lay him down, close his eyes.
And we shall leave it there. If that's okay.
Nice job, Hazel.
Good job, everyone.
I'm really sorry. I think I've ruined some really serious moments by naming these goblins like...
No.
Tina! Tina!
It's I, Bradley.
It's not going to get any better now that they're named after the Black Eyed Peas.
I can bite dibs on looking after Taboo because he always wears amazing hats.
He does. Yeah, he's definitely got to be a goblin with amazing hats.
No, Matt wanted weirder names.
Well, you thought if you gave them people names, I wouldn't kill them, but you know. Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Good game,
Sorry,
Matt.
not sorry.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sorry there was no combat or anything, but the role playing was superb. All of you, really, really well done. It was really good, and well done, Jim, for having a theory. But yeah, no, brilliant. I was really impressed with you all. I was just like sat engrossed watching watching it all unfold. I didn't expect any of that, so it was delightful.
See you, Davey.
Night, Davey.
Hey, Davey.
Thanks for dropping by.
Does Hemeth have any facial hair?
Yes.
Could we maybe do a little Poirot makeover?
Hercule him.
Duergar Poirot.
Der Guaro.
Yeah, that's canon now. Right. I shall end it there then.
Okay.
Unless anyone has anything to add.
Till
You've heard
next
it here
time.
First, I am goblin hot.
Goblin hot. There you go. Goblin hot.
like it's
You're all
hard.
goblin hot.
In my eyes.
Make Hazel any less special. None of you can sit like Hazel.
No. No, that's true.
I do
well,
just
just
goblin
like
a lot.
the queen of goblin hot, but everyone else is goblin hot too, surely.
In their own way.
The queen gets to decide. Right. Until next time. Bye-bye.